I'm back with the topic of rationalization. This is going to be our second class and probably the last class on rationalization. So in the first class we talked about doing simple rationalization and converting this kind of a fraction of p by q. For example, this is a by root p into, we talked about rationalizing this. We multiplied and divided this by the same root of root b, so that this root b and this root b becomes b. Root b times root b is b, and this is a root b. We talked about rationalizing the denominator by changing the sign of it and multiplying and dividing it by the same number. For example, 1 by 3 plus root 2. If you want to rationalize this, you rationalize the denominator by multiplying and dividing this by the opposite sign. We talked about the reason of why we are doing this. Please go back to our previous video and see the reason. We are actually exploiting the formula of a plus b times a minus b, which is nothing but a squared minus b squared. Here b is root 2. So root 2 squared becomes 2. And a is 3. This is 3 squared minus root 2 squared. So this becomes 9 minus 2 equals 7. So these are simple tricks and simple techniques of rationalizing the denominator. Now today we'll try to do little more difficult problems than we did previously. So if, suppose the question is if x equals root 3 plus root 2 by root 3 minus root 2 and y equals root 3 minus root 2 by root 3 plus root 2. Find the value of x squared plus y squared. You can probably pause the video here and think of a way that how would you find x squared and how would you find y squared, and then add them. You can pause the video and think about it. So let's try to resolve this together. We have x equals root 3 plus root 2 by root 3 minus root 2. So we'll start with x first. Let's take x. X equals root 3 plus root 2 by root 3 minus root 2. In order to rationalize the denominator, we would multiply and divide this by the opposite sign of the denominator, which is root 3 plus root 2. Now we see that this is root 3 plus root 2, root 3 plus root 2. This becomes root 3 plus root 2 whole squared divided by a minus b times a plus b. So this is a square a b, a minus b, a b, a plus b. A minus b times a plus b is a squared minus b squared, which is nothing but root 3 squared minus root 2 squared, which is 3 minus 2 equals 1. So our denominator becomes 1. So our x is root 3 plus root 2 whole squared. Let's write down x here. X is equal to root 3 plus root 2 whole squared. Let's try to find out the value of y in a similar fashion. So we'll take y. Y equals root 3 minus root 2 divided by root 3 plus root 2 times, we'll multiply and divide this fraction by the opposite of denominator, root 3 minus root 2 by root 3 minus root 2. We see root 3 minus root 2, root 3 minus root 2, which makes it root 3 minus root 2 whole squared divided by a plus b into a minus b. A squared minus b squared is the formula, which is nothing but root 3 squared minus root 2 squared. We saw it last time when we found the value of x. This is 3 minus 2 equals 1. So our y is root 3 minus root 2 whole squared. Okay. So we found the value of x, we found the value of y. Let's find the value of x squared and y squared and add them together. X equals root 3 plus root 2 whole squared, which is nothing but 3 plus 2 plus 2 times root a into root b, which is 3 into 2, 6, or 5 plus 2 root 6. This is the value of x. Let's find the value of x squared, which is 5 plus 2 root 6 whole squared equals 25, which is a squared, plus b squared is 24, plus 2ab. 2 times 5 is 10, times 2 is 20, root 6. So this is the value of x squared. Let's find the value of y squared. I write down here x squared is 49 plus 20 root 6. Let's find the value of y. Y squared. So y is root 3 minus root 2 whole squared. We know the formula of a minus b whole squared. What is a minus b whole squared? It is a squared plus b squared minus 2ab. A squared plus a squared is 3 plus b squared minus 2ab, which is nothing but 5 minus 2 root 6. So this is our y. Let's find the value of y squared. Y squared is 5 minus 2 root 6 whole square. It's nothing but a squared plus b squared is 24 minus 2ab equals 49 minus 20 root 6. So y squared is 49 minus 20 root 6. And found the value of y squared. Let's find the value of x squared plus y squared, which is very simple when we look at this. X squared plus y squared is 49 plus 20 root 6 plus 49 minus 20 root 6. 20 root 6 and 20 root 6 gets cancelled because they are of opposite signs. 49 plus 49 is 98. So that's the answer. Simple question. Let's try to solve another question of a similar nature. A similar question. If a equals 2 minus root 5 by 2 plus root 5 and b equals just the reciprocal of this 2 plus root 5 by 2 minus root 5, find the value of a squared minus b squared. We know the value of a and b. We'll find the value of a squared, but before that we'll rationalize a squared, rationalize a, rationalize b, do the square and then do the subtraction. We know a equals 2 minus root 5 by 2 plus root 5 times the denominator but with the opposite sign. We multiply and divide this by the same number. So this is 2 minus root 5 whole squared by a plus b times a minus b, which is a squared minus b squared 4 minus 5. This comes out to be minus 1 times 2 minus root 5 whole squared. We write down the value of a here, minus 1, 2 minus root 5 whole square. Similarly, let's find the value of b. b is 2 plus root 5 divided by 2 minus root 5. We multiply and divide this by the denominator but with the opposite sign, the way we did when we found the value of a, when we rationalized a. So this is 2 plus root 5, 2 plus root 5 makes it 2 plus root 5 whole squared divided by a minus b times a plus b, 4 minus 5 is minus 1. Let's write down the value of b. It's minus 1, 2 plus root 5 whole squared. So we found the value of a and b. Let's find the value of a squared and b squared and do the subtraction. So a equals minus 1 into 2 minus root 5 whole square. A squared would be minus 1 whole square, 2 minus root 5 whole square, and then the square. This minus 1 square is 1, and this becomes 2 minus root 5 whole squared and then squared. So this is a squared. Similarly, we will find b squared as 2 plus root 5 whole squared and the square of everything. This is, we see if you have to do a squared minus b squared, this comes in the form of a plus b times a minus b. Now our question becomes rather more easy. What is a plus b? A plus b is 2 minus root 5 whole squared. This is a plus b. b is 2 plus root 5 whole squared. This is a plus b times a minus b. 2 minus root 5 whole square minus 2 minus 2 plus root 5 whole square. We see closely. A square is 2 minus 5 root 5 whole square and then square of everything. So this is my a square. A square minus b square is a plus b times a minus b. So see, this is a plus b, a minus b. Let's solve this part of the equation. Two minus root 5 whole square is a square plus b square minus 2ab. This part is a square plus a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. And this plus is this plus. A squared plus b squared times a squared minus b squared. We can further solve it as a plus b times a minus b. You can do that also. So this is a squared minus b squared, a plus b into a minus b. Instead of doing the squares here, you can use that technique. a plus b is 2 minus root 5. This is a plus 2 plus root 5 b times a minus b minus 2 minus root 5. Make a note of this negative sign here. What we did was a plus b into a minus b. Now here we saw that this part a squared minus b squared is a plus b, 2 minus root 5. This is a plus b, which is 2 plus root 5 times a minus b, 2 minus root 5. Here we see that this is a minus sign. We did minus 2 and minus root 5. You see that this is b is 2 plus root 5, but minus b would become minus 2 minus root 5. That's what we wrote here, minus 2 minus root 5. So let's solve this now. This becomes 9 minus 4 root 5 plus 9 plus 4 root 5. Here root 5 minus root 5 gets cancelled. This becomes 4 times 2 and minus 2 gets cancelled. Minus root 5 minus root 5 is minus 2 root 5. Here minus 4 root 5 and plus 4 root 5 gets cancelled. This becomes 18 times minus 8 root 5. 18 times minus 8 root 5. So this becomes 144 root 5 with a negative sign. So that's the answer of a squared minus b squared. Let's try to solve other kind of a question now. You can get in the exam or in the competitive exam a question which is not just simply to asking you to rationalize, but also to ask you about using the concepts of rationalization into solving an equation. So if the question is if x equals 1 by 2 minus root 3, find the value of x cube minus 2x squared minus 7x plus 5. You have to find the value of this equation. We know the value of x. If we have to find the value of x squared, we know how to do it. If you have to find the value of x cube, we can then further multiply that by x. But that becomes a little more complicated. Let's try to see how to solve this question, this kind of a question. Okay. So we have x equals 1 by 2 minus root 3, and we have root in the denominator. So our first reaction when we see this kind of a problem is to simplify this x by rationalizing the denominator. So if x equals 1 by 2 minus root 3, we multiply this by the denominator but with the opposite sign. This makes it 2 plus root 3 divided by a minus b times a plus b is a squared minus b squared, which is 4 minus root 3 squared equals 2 plus root 3 by 1, or 2 plus root 3. So our x equals 2 plus root 3. So we found the value of x. Let's see this equation. This This equation is x cube minus 2x square minus 7x plus 5. If I just take these two terms of the equation, I find that x squared can be taken as common, x minus 2 and then minus 7x plus 5. Now why I have taken this as x squared as common and only considered these two parts of the equation is because when I see this equation x equals 2 plus root 3, I can write this as x minus 2 equals root 3. I have transferred this 2 here. Or in other language, you can say that subtract minus 2 from both sides, it becomes x minus 2 equals 2 plus root 3 minus 2, or x minus 2 equals root 3. Whatever way is comfortable with you. We see that x minus 2 equals root 3. When I look at this equation after solving for x, it becomes very evident that x minus 2 can be written as root 3. So this part can be written as root 3. So this makes my life little easy. But in order to solve this equation, I need the value of x squared. So let's find the value of x squared. But we have found the basic fundamental solution on how to solve this equation. So if x equals 2 plus root 3, then x squared equals a squared plus b squared plus 2ab is equal to 7 plus 4 root 3. I'll write down the value of x squared here. 7 plus 4 root 3. Now my life is very simple here. We discussed that I can take x squared as common. X minus 2 minus 7x plus 5. X squared is 7 plus 4 root 3. X minus 2 is root 3 minus 7. X equals 7. X equals 2 plus root 3 plus 5. 7 times root 3 is 7 root 3 plus 4 root 3 times root 3 is, so root 3 into root 3 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12 minus 7 times 2 is 14. Minus 7 into root 3 is minus 7 root 3 plus 5. Minus 7 root 3 plus 7 root 3 gets cancelled out. 12 plus 5 is 17. 17 minus 14 equals 3. So the value of this equation is equal to 3. You see that this equation looks complicated with the value of x, which is a different looking rational number. The value of this equation is very simple, number 3. Not actually a rationalization problem, because we do not have any number in the denominator which is in the form of a surd. If x equals 3 plus 2 root 2 whole root, you have to simplify this expression. So you see that 3 plus 2 root 2, I'm just taking the inner part of this expression, just trying to solve this first, and we see that there is nothing in the denominator. So we cannot actually rationalize the denominator because there is no denominator. But if we compare this with a formula that you already know, a plus b whole squared equals a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. We can try to compare this expression with this formula, but we have root here, and we have seen this in our previous problems of rationalization, that if it is a plus root b whole square, then we get an expression like this, which is nothing but a squared plus b plus 2a root b. Now if we try to compare this a squared plus b plus 2a root b with this expression, we find that 2a root b is actually 2 root 2. Let's try to compare this, and a squared plus b equals 3. Just write down the findings on the right side. A squared plus b equals 3, and 2a root b equals 2 root 2. Can we say that if 2a root b, this part of the expression, equals to 2 root 2, we see that this 2 and this 2 is common here, and this root and this root is common here. We can compare this as b equals 2 and a equals 1. So we can write it as a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 2. We try to put this here. If a equals to 1 and b is equal to 2, does it satisfy this equation? 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Yes. So a equals 1 and b equals 2. This can be written as 1 plus root 2 whole squared. Why? Because a is 1, b is 2, and we have mentioned the root here. So if 3 plus 2 root 2 equals 1 plus root 2 whole squared, then the value of 3 plus 2 root 2 whole root will be equal to 1 plus root 2 whole squared and whole root. You can cancel this squared with the root. This becomes 1 plus root 2. So 1 plus root 2 is the value of, simplified value of 3 plus 2 root 2 whole root. So you can try to change the sign here and solve this at home. You will find the answer as 1 minus 2 root 2. The trick would be to use a minus root b whole squared instead of a plus b root. A plus b root b, a plus root b whole squared. And you'll find that minus will come here, and you'll find similar corresponding values of a and b. Just try to do this as a homework. And next time when we meet, we'll come up with a new topic. In the comment section, you can post what topic do you want to study, and we'll start from the very, very basics and gradually increase our difficulty level of the questions. Thank you so much for attending the class today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.